Hey guys, so I'm starting this YouTube channel with the purpose of educating new gun owners so they can carry safely and to the best of their ability. So today's first video is going to be just a very basic teardown on how to take down a pistol. So in this case, one of my everyday carry firearms is a P365 X Macro. So I'll be doing this video, and then pretty soon, depending on how this does, I'll be doing a Glock. Um, so first things first, whenever any of you beginners are going to start taking apart a firearm to clean it, whether you just took it to the range, doing whatever you want to do, uh, you're going to take the magazine out, make sure there's nothing in the chamber. As you guys can see, there's nothing in there. I just had the magazine in for the purpose of this video. So after you clear it, what I recommend is, again, just so you don't get into any bad habits, get this at least arm's distance away from you. If you can put it in a different room, do whatever you gotta do. But again, just a redundancy, so you never have this situation where you have a negligent discharge on accident. So we don't want that. In this case, first thing you're gonna do is lock the gun to the rear. In my case, I have the manual safety. I take that lever down. Then right here is this little lever. So you just pull it, and then from there, send it forward. It just slides right out. So from here, I'm not going to be showing a full breakdown because, again, this video is meant for beginners. I don't want a beginner to start taking their entire gun apart piece by piece and accidentally put something back the wrong way or not put something back, and then now you're messing with your reliability. So once you got into these two parts, you have the spring, just comes right out, barrel slides right out. So these are the parts you really want to clean after firing it, or your basic, you just got it, you want to open it, take whatever residue it has. If you get guns from Palmetto or something, they always have something. And from there, as long as you have your basic cleaning kit, this is something I have. I have a few of these. I got this one from Walmart, I'm pretty sure. You get your gun oil. I like using one of these little brushes. This is from a rifle kit, but they work great on literally any gun. So for cleaning, it's pretty simple. Just gonna take this brush, make sure you don't have any dirt, grime in there, any carbon buildup. In my case, this gun is pretty clean. I'm just trying to, again, showcase for a beginner. You want to make sure there's nothing inside the barrel. I'm trying to see if the camera can pick it up. It's not really picking it up with the lighting, but there's nothing in the barrel. I can see that. So once that's clean, you move on. The spring never really gets anything. I just do it out of habit. Or another thing that works pretty well for cleaning these springs is literally just take a rag, wipe it down, make sure there's nothing on there. Then now for the slag itself, I like taking the brush, just brush the outside just briefly. The outside of the gun doesn't really matter. What you're worried about is the internals for when it comes to making sure your gun works. But I like my guns looking nice. I'm sure everyone here does. Again, just quick cleaning, make sure there's nothing on there. The inside too. In this case, there's nothing in there anymore. Now, for this, in the case of a SIG, you can actually remove this whole trigger group. Again, I don't recommend you do that, especially for beginners, which is, again, what this channel is going to be oriented to. I have a bunch of these. They're almost like super long Q-tips. I actually don't really know the name of them. If I have anything in there, which is rarely ever, you just kind of go around, wipe it down bit by bit. I actually had some. If you can even pick that up on the camera. Just go through. It's a very basic cleaning. Don't go out of your way to move everything. Don't get ahead of yourself. Then, yeah, in this case, it's good. Make sure your mag well is clean. So with a lot of these SIGs, especially the X Macro, I'll actually grab that mag again. So a lot of these X Macros, one failure I do see is in the magazines. I don't know why they're so prone to rust. Especially here in Florida recently, we've actually been having like a cold front coming through. I actually went through a couple of the mags in my safe because I have a couple spares, and just them sitting there, they got pretty rusty. So again, it's something you can take care of if they get rusted. I encourage you not to let them get to that point. And as you progress and getting more and more guns, you're going to realize you need to take some time out probably every month and maintain your weapons. But it is something to note that those mags get rusty. Um, Now, when it comes to putting oil on your guns, you never have to overdo it, or make sure you don't overdo it, is what I should say. So, what I like to do, uh, we'll take the barrel, put a drop of oil, a single drop. You can see it on camera there. You're just going to take your finger, basically spread that all the way through. That's more than enough for the whole barrel. And again, just want to take your fingers, make sure it rubs in, and that should be good. Again, if you go a little too heavy on the oil, it's really not a big deal. What I did when I was learning, just take a rag, try to get some of it up off the barrel because you don't want it to be like super greasy and like start leaking from the sides of your gun or something. Spring, you don't do anything with this. Barrel. So for the barrel, I like doing any part where there's metal to metal contact. So for example, now that you're taking your gun apart, you can start thinking about how it works. When you shoot, this barrel will actually move. So it'll go in and out. So I like taking, again, just that extra drop of oil, putting it right in there, and then spreading it just a little bit. Again, so that's a drop. I'm going to take this. I'm just going to spread it. Again, if you have small fingers, lucky you, you don't have to do that. My fingers won't really fit in there too well. So again, you're just making sure you're getting the sides. Then right here along these ridges, I'm trying to see if I can pick it up on the camera. So these ridges right here where the slag actually moves is something you could oil to. But again, just be really careful you don't over oil it, because what will happen is, what happened to me, admittedly, is you'll oil it too much and then you'll start noticing it coming out of the side almost. And not even that it's like leaking, but you can see a little bit of that residue like just kind of come out. It's not a big deal, but again, if you can avoid that, you want to. So again, tiniest little drop right there. Just get it moving. Just gonna cover that. You're gonna do the same thing with the other side. Good. Now that that's done, you're gonna put it back together. Barrel goes in first. Spring. Each spring does have its own orientation. When I do my Glock video, I'll show you. It's a lot easier to do on that. But in the case of this X Macro, this side has a little ridge, if you would call that. That side goes in first. Then you just want to make sure you compress it a little bit. Then it will actually almost snap into the barrel itself. It should look like that when it's done. Now you have that put back together. Now your lower should look the exact same. All you're doing is sliding it back in. Goes right back on there. What I like doing is locking it to the rear with your slide lock. Snap that back, and you're done. What I like doing it is, again, point the weapon in a safety direction, rack it a couple times, pull the trigger, let go, make sure your gun works properly, make sure you put it back together, and there you go. That is a clean and lubricated firearm. Let me know what you guys think of the video. Again, for any of you guys that know more about firearms, the purpose of this channel is to encourage more people to carry firearms and, again, bridging that gap so they know how to carry safely. So, any advice, maybe something I did that you do differently or you think works better, by all means, drop it in the comments. And have a good day. Stay blessed.